Shalom, Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, Barakathum. All praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Stuck here in traffic. Been here for a couple minutes now. And what I'm recording is a procession that, I guess 1,400 emergency vehicles are driving from the Joint Base Lewis McChord out here in Washington. They're doing a few miles of a drive. I'm not, like I said, I'm not sure what this is for exactly, but I know that there was a cop that was killed a couple days ago responding to a domestic violence call. They had a candlelight vigil for him. So, you have a bunch of people out here, on the blocks in front of all these businesses showing their support. I'm right here, kind of in the thick of this shit. But I don't know how well you can see me. I don't know how well you can see, man, but there's traffic for miles at this point. And, yeah. So, anyway, thought I would record and just kind of, show and share this. But a lot of these people are afraid, as they should be. When they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction shall come upon them. And that's what they want right now. Everyone's scared of World War III, but no matter what they do, I just read, I can't remember if a brother sent the link out. It might have been Quadar Shapat. But basically, I think it was, China is getting ready for more nukes. The U.S. is preparing in the South China Sea. They have their floating fortresses out there ready to go to war. There's a whole new movement out here where everyone's talking about backing the badge and blue stripes and support the law officers that go out there to protect you, and so there's all this big hype. Honestly, if the economy is doing this bad, though, this is a waste of money. Using all these, government vehicles and wasting all this gas, for what? This is crazy. The cars are full. I don't understand what they think they're doing. And like I said, I'll research more into it. I'll provide a link in the description as to what exactly is going on. But just again, giving my 2 cents. You see, there's a white light. I keep catching it flashing back there. And basically, since it's a red light, it almost seems like they're catching. The machine is still working to where they're catching tickets. So that's going to be funny when that shows up. They're going to have tickets on there. They're going to have to go to court, right? But of course they won't. But look at this, man. They're just, I don't even know what's going on, man. And it sucks. I can't really get out. But, I don't know if this is supposed to be like a moment of silence for him, or what. I'm just recording because I don't really have any data on my plan. Otherwise, I would, look it up, sit here and look it up and, give more info. So like I said, it's just my impromptu rant, And it's crazy, man. All these fucking cars, man. It's insane. Waste of money, waste of resources. But that's how these people are. They think that this is that this means something. And really, a parade. The whole point of a parade. We've brought this out before, but look it up. The point of the word. A parade is typically when you march your military force through a city that is conquered. Now, this out here in this area, a lot of these cities are Gadite territories, or North American Indian, Native American Indian territories. So with these cops out here, they put their military bases out here to deal with Gad. And that's one of these bases, the Joint Base Lewis McChord. And you notice it says Joint Base because there's two different bases that are joined together, the Lewis and McChord. Okay, so you have the Air Force and the Army out here together, and then you have all these other tribes out here: the Puyallup, the Nisqually, the Muckleshoot. Okay, just to name, three of the many. And of course in Eastern Washington you got, the Yakima. You have Wapato reservations. There's a whole bunch of them out here. So you have this military presence in Gad's land. Now, why the military presence? Well, really because Gad is the warrior tribes. One of the three parts that make up the warriors. You have Reuben, Gad, and half the tribe of Manasseh that were in ancient times, dedicated warriors, the battle groups. Okay, so now hopefully you understand that this is living prophecy. All these cops, you're pretty much nothing more than an extension of the military to police not really the people, but to police us. And apostles and elders bring it out all the time how these guys are the ones that work directly for the bankers. These guys work for the bankers. Okay, now they're starting to move. So I guess they're gonna do this every couple of blocks or every buildup of cars. They're gonna be moving around. And so, like I said, it's supposed to be like 1,400 vehicles, emergency vehicles. And let's see, look at it's all undercovers. Well, not all of them, but this is at Bonnie Lake, Mount Lake Terrace, Veteran Affairs Police. There's another undercover, probably stater or federal. Who knows? Who the fuck knows? Look at that guy's in uniform. It looked like he was in naval uniform. King County Sheriff, Eatonville Police. Who the fuck is this? I can't even tell what that says. My eyes are terrible. State Patrol, Sammamish. Holy shit. There goes, that's the Puyallup Nation Police. Look at that. It's even got the Gadite symbol on the front. Seattle Police, Wenatchee Police. This guy's about to rear end that guy. City of Auburn. What do we got? Gladstone Police, another State Patrol. So it looks like they just got everything. All this madness and confusion, man, for what? America. It's like it. Having fun. But yeah. This is a sign of the end of the times. As some will see it. Others, this is a patriotic movement. This is basically hand join in hand, the wicked shall not go unpunished. Okay? So this is, the world is together on this. They're unified with these gatherings and these movements. Okay? And that's how the world is supposed to be, because the world is carnal. So they're in league. They are friendship. Okay, the scriptures tell you that friendship with the world is enmity with the Most High. So, we see this is just pure folly. They show this for them as a show of force. Now, you have the Russians and the Germans that used to do this stuff with their military force. Okay, the Gestapo for the Germans was like, like secret police, SS squad and stuff like that, right? They had different levels. Well, even amongst this, you have the county, level, and then you have, even federal levels, right? And that's the main thing that messes with Gad is the federal. They have their own tribal police, but then they also have the feds that are the only ones that are supposed to be able to deal with them. But when you saw the North Dakota Access Pipeline rise up, they sent mercenaries and militia after who was already there, the police. They had off-duty police officers coming in from other areas, like you see here. This is I couldn't even read that. But as you saw, police from all different areas. There's Des Moines. That's like a small part of Kent. Western Washington University Police, son of a bitch. Milton Police, Seattle Police, U.S. Park Rangers. Jeez, man. So they're really going hardcore with all this stuff. U.S. Customs and Border Protection. Border Patrol's out here. Watch out, it's a car. Gonna get you. Get you. I can't even see. Normandy, was that say Normandy State Park? Port of Seattle Police. Jeez, man. I'm gonna be here for a while, I guess, but you see the point. Okay, city of Omak, city of Newcastle, U.S. Navy, CID. Damn. Puyallup Nation Police. So this is you know, a lot of these officers are going to be used to help round people up, man. Help round people up. They're going to be invading your home, looking for food that you have saved up, confiscating any flour, rice, dry goods, canned goods, bottled waters. They're going to take any and everything you got. Emergency kits, first aid kits. They're going to take all that from you. They're going to hoard all of it in an area. Okay, and then they're going to distribute it as needed. Okay, so that's why the scriptures talk about, they're going to be heaping things up, right? But they're not going to enjoy it, especially the gold and the silver. All this gold and silver that they've heaped up and they have hidden away and locked up here and there. That's really for the elect. Okay, but even the preppers, the scriptures that go into how people will heap up, but they're not going to be able to enjoy their own goods. Okay, Medic 1, fire and rescue from Graham. Okay, so it looks like everybody's out here. I've seen a lot of Western Washington, well, even Eastern Washington. It was wasn't it a UW police or UW campus security, WSU. Border Patrol's out here. So they have a lot of representatives out here for all these different areas. Olympia Police, Seattle Police. That's crazy. Look at that undercover. That's what is that, like a Chevy Cobalt or maybe an Impala? Probably an Impala. Yeah, I think might be an Impala. Auburn, Lake Forest Park, Scappoose, another state patrol, another undercover. Man, Nisqually, that's another tribe. Lake Oswego, LA Center Police, like Cali LA Center? No, that'd be something else. I can't even read that. White Salmon. Okay, so this is these devils showing their might, man. I was listening to Louis C.K. yesterday, and he was mentioning how he visited Russia when he was younger, in his younger years. He visited Russia, and the streets were knocked down, how it is here. The buildings are, it's a wide street. Well, imagine a city that's not so wide. What they did was they knocked buildings down and they pushed them back further, so that in the cities, they could have their nukes be moved to the cities, on trucks. They could bring nukes in as a demonstration in their parades, and even to have capability if they had to fight, if they had to move something to the city, they'd have room on the streets. And the buildings were just held up by bricks. Just how you see houses being ready to move and they put them on stands, temporary supports, basically. Okay, so that was back in, I think, maybe the late 80s, early 90s, that Louis C.K. went out there and witnessed that. Okay, and bringing that up again to reiterate the point of a parade for military might and muscle. And all these cars, is at least one person. Some of them I'm seeing two people in the front. Who knows if they got anything in the back? There's more Border Patrol, U.S. Customs, Spokane Police. There we go. That's Eastern Washington. Okay, so you have, it looks like the whole state is out here. Look at these brown vehicles. I've never seen those before. Can't read it either. There's tons of them. So this might be it looked like they just got them randomly peppered in different departments from different cities, but it's starting to look like a car from every area, basically, whatever they got on their budgets. So this is that show of force This is where your tax dollars are going. You know, these people that believe in America, they want to make it great again. This is how they're gonna do it. Okay, more military might. I was talking to somebody yesterday, and they were saying that Russia, the only way for Russia to work, and that it is working, is through their military. Everybody get trained up through the military, and he was talking about how the only thing that works for Russia for them to be strong is their communism. And that's what this. And I mentioned the scripture to the guy. Say, well, that's prophecy, where the scriptures talk about putting the fish hooks in their jaws and bringing them back to their old ways. The nations, people going back to their homelands. Okay, which a lot of that's going on. It looked like Port Orchard. Yep, Port Orchard. Port Orchard is up north. It's northern Washington. Port Gamble. And you notice it says port, so these are port cities. Okay, just Seattle, this Gig Harbor. Okay, a harbor is almost like an island. Basically, to have a harbor means you're on the ocean. There's seaside police. Seaside's out here. Man, there's a lot of Jefferson County. Yeah, everyone's out here. Can't read that one. There's more Seattle police. So that looks like an old school Seattle cop car. This navy blue one. But yeah. So even the ports, and out here there's a lot of port cities, because there's a lot of coastal GAD. You got GAD on a lot of the coastal cities up here. Because of the salmon and the bounty. Blessed is he that enlargeth Gad, that increases Gad. The Most High blessed Gad with all this land. And these devils came and they took it. Okay, that's how America was won, by the genocide of a people. And this new young generation that's here now, they are not correcting the mistakes and the wrongdoings and the trespasses of their forefathers. They're out here, look, living it up. This guy with his family, she's in the brigade in the back seat, having the time of her life, right? She's recording. I'm recording too. Okay. Bainbridge Island. So, and that's the thing. Everything west of I-5 out here in the Washington State area is in a tsunami zone. So they've been predicting a large tsunami for a long time, and I'm bringing that up because I saw that city reminded me of the Isles. The Most I take it up to Isles as a very little thing, and there's a lot of people tend to live more on the shores than they do on the inland. Inside of America, the heartland of America, is more desolate for people population. More people tend to live on the coast. So out here, if a tsunami does happen, if the Most High allows that to happen, it's going to destroy a lot of people. Anything west of I-5 out here, they say it was going to be gone, instantly. So other nations know about that. They could set a nuke off. They don't even have to hit this place. They could just set a nuke off and let the tsunami do it, or they could do the tsunami and the nuke, one after the other, or both at the same time. But there's a mass destruction in store. Okay. So look, there's Redmond Police. That's up north. Redmond is a city where Microsoft is headquartered. Okay. A lot of people that work with Microsoft, they live out in Redmond. That's one of the nicer areas. You can see their cop cars are newer. They're better, faster, stronger. They have a better budget. Okay, Redmond Police. There's another park ranger. More park rangers. So I was supposed to be somewhere by 11, and the spirit has me stuck here. It's 11:32, my arrival time for my destination. There's Kent Police. That used to be a farming community. They used to farm hops. They no longer do, because they fucked the ground up out there. So now they do like cabbage, pumpkins, small things like that. it used to be really rich and really fertile because it was in a valley. And that's the point over here on the western Washington. A lot of this stuff is valley cities, low-lying areas below sea level, which is good for agriculture. Okay, it's real moist and wet out here. There's Bellevue Police. That's a pretty ritzy area. One of the richer cities. When opposing sports teams come to Seattle, they stay in Bellevue. They stay in Bellevue. That's a nice area. A lot of doctors and stuff. Who else do we have? Can't read all of these. Salakia. Walla Walla. Yep, that's one of the main prisons is out there in Walla Walla, which is a really bad prison. I had a uncle on my mother's side work out there as security for a number of years. I was a prison guard. Walla Walla is pretty bad. The Burns Towing, these guys must have a contract. Looks like they're from Tacoma. There's Lacey Police. Lacey Police, more sheriffs, more state patrol. The line just keeps going. It just keeps going. It looks like it's not gonna stop. This is probably the one time you can be on your cell phone in traffic without getting a ticket. Yeah, so that's kind of funny. There's another DuPont. Where's DuPont? I forget where. Oh, DuPont is kind of by Olympia, if I'm not mistaken. Olympia is the capital out here. We did a on location camp out there on Olympia at the Capitol building. Went into the Corinthian columns. Why that style is after Corinth, those columns, which is synonymous with Greece and Rome. Okay, all of their buildings, America is modeled and structured after Rome. Okay, which is even parts of Greece. The English alphabet itself, or language, is based off of Hebrew, Greek, Latin, Hebrew, Greek, Latin, even some Spanish. Okay, which that's Latin too. Okay, but that's why America or English is a bastard language. JBLM, Fire and Emergency Services. I didn't even know some of these things existed as far as cars for certain locations. You would think they could use something else, but Washington has a pretty big budget. It was one of the top 10 cities out of the 50 states. I was reading the list on MSN.com. The worst states in America. A list. I think number one was I want to say Colorado, but that might have been number 3. Texas was the 5th best. Washington was the 7th best. But also Washington has one of the highest unemployment rates, and that's a large part of that is due to people moving out here to not work. You got a lot of people that don't want to have a job. Okay, there's a lot of work out here. Right now there's booming in construction. But you have a lot of drug addicts out here. A lot of methadone is still big out here. People still heroin's coming back in different forms. So you have that going on out here too. Tons of jobs, but people don't want to do them. But yeah, a lot of these locations have big budgets because you have Microsoft out here. You have Starbucks. You have the Silicon Valley, which a lot of startup companies. You have Impage out there, Adobe. I think there's even a Google building out there. Boeing is out here too. That's another big one. And then you have, of course, the nuclear power plant, Hanford, which those tanks are still leaking, and they're not really covering or following that story so much. So that's a problem. And then even with Seattle, you have the floating bridge. With those pontoons, or the floating concrete blocks, pontoons they call them, are still taking on water. Okay, they already outsourced to China to come in and fix the problem because the people on that crew were just milking the job and not really doing a good, proper job. And even one of there's a major concrete company out here that was contracted for that. They got removed, and like I said, China took that over. You have America's weakness being shown. Donald Trump, he's not gonna He's just gonna help. Didn't matter who they voted for, Donald Trump, Hillary, uh, Joe Biden, or whoever was running, whoever wanted to run, whoever was in office, right? Name you whoever, put it whatever. They're only gonna do the agenda of the elite, and the elite make money off of destruction. There's money to be made in destruction. That movie, The Fifth Element, they show you that where the priest, I think his name was Cornelius, goes in and he sees Emperor Zorg. He calls himself Emperor Zorg, this guy with the weird haircut, which looks like the normal haircut today. It's shaved half on the side. He's got a mohawk, but it lays flat to one side. And the guy tells him, he said, look, chaos brings money. And he knocks over a glass from his desk, and the glass shatters, and he hits a button, and all these little robots come out to start cleaning up the glass that shattered. They're detecting the particles, and they're sweeping it up, and they're sucking it up with little vacuums. Okay, it looks like it's over. So I'm gonna wrap this up, and then he's bragging about it. He says, "See, this put a lot of people in employment. This put a lot of people in employment. All the families that got to make these robots, right, is gonna, be able to feed their families and and sustain themselves." So he's bragging about it and he's boasting, and he goes to drink his water, and in his water he's got some fresh cherries in his water, and now he goes and he drinks the drink, and in the water, as he's drinking it with the cherries, he starts choking on it, and he's grabbing his neck because he's choking, he's losing oxygen, and he starts panicking, hitting all these buttons. You got all these animals popping up and different things coming out of the woodwork that are. Did we keep going? Did we stop? So like it, got a cop flagging down traffic, getting us to stop. So then he's choking on the cherry. And the priest leans over and he says, look, where's your robot to come pat you on the back when you're choking? All this, your whole empire that you built up is going to come crawling down because of one cherry. And as he's saying all that, he's slowly moving his hand back, and he just hits him on the back and, saves his life. The cherry comes popping out, and he calls in security, and they kind of grab him rough. And he says, I'm only saving your life because you saved mine. Get out of my face. So, hopefully brothers were, edified. If not, just, able to tune in and leave your opinion as well in the comment board. But until next time, I'll say shalom.